the amount of fresh eyeballs looking at you. I don't know if that had any difference.
But I wonder if at that point, when you're on the ice, if you're really, if it seems like there's any more people, or are you so focused in that you're just playing your game? And I think maybe that's what the Blues did. After Patrick Berglund scored and tied it up. Yes, Patrick Berglund scored and tied it up. That's amazing for a lot of Blues fans to hear that. But
I mean, he had more. He has 4 more goals than whatever that guy's name is, Harkney.
Yeah, or Kempny. Yeah,
Kempny.
And I mean, he also
who scored his second goal.
Right now, he also is he has 1 goal, or they might be tied, I believe. Or has 1 goal less than Paul Stastny. So I mean, he has 6. I think Stastny has 7. So I mean, a lot of people give Berglund a lot of flack. He's one of my more personal favorite Blues. But
I will say this: with the transition from last year to this year, I like Berglund more this year.
I will say, even on Monday, he was hitting. He was playing more physical, and I feel like from the last few games he has been.
I think with having the absence of having those big guys, he understands what there needs to be more people on the ice like that. And I think Berglund is starting now to understand his size and that he can be physical. He can get under the skin of some other players that aren't going to expect that from him.
Oh, yeah. And I think that he's been in the league long enough, so now that if he turns it up a little bit, people aren't going to be expecting that. But they should, because that's how he's supposed to play. And a man his size, that's how he should play. Yeah. I thought he played a great game. I thought, and I will say it, first period, I don't know where Jay Bouwmeester was. I think he was in a different world. First period, he was not playing a good game.
Yeah, he was.
And I thought at the end of the day, if we lost, Jay Bouwmeester was going to be a big contributor to why we lost.
He was pinching and crashing when he should have been back checking.
There was no back checking with him,
or sticking at the blue line, and. He was moving in the opposite direction of which the play was moving, the whole first period.
It was a lot of he got burned a few times.
Yeah,
and Shattenkirk had to bail him out a couple times. Parayko bailed him out. It was just one of those things where I'm like, are you really? What are you doing right now? Why are you doing it? And I know the people in our section, we were chirping back and forth about it, but it was just sit him. He is not going to make this better. And luckily, he found his game in the second period, and I mean he's the one who set up one of the plays for Tarasenko to score to actually take the lead. And B, Allen played his butt off. Allen was on his hand. He was standing on his head, as people would like to say. He played a great game, and especially in an environment he's never been in, one where Crawford has played, and he played great. I think he made 23 saves, and the Blues outshot the Blackhawks too, which is something we rarely do.
Yeah,
but we outshot them, we outplayed them, and we won. One stat that I found, it's kind of been troubling to me since learning this. Alex Steen has 4 goals this year, 2 of which are only empty net goals. I know that we don't have a true center right now, so we throw Steen in there because he's very versatile, and I think maybe one of the top 2 or 3 most underrated players for what he can do for your team in the NHL. I think he's very underrated. He's very skilled, And that's why we can throw him on, left, right, center, wherever you need to play him, you can plug him in. But he's looking to have his worst year point-wise. I think he's on pace for 44, 45 points. It'd be his worst year point-wise that he's ever had. That goes back to his last year in Toronto where he was playing fourth line. Paul Stastny right now, having not that great of a year, he's only on pace for 39 points. And his lowest point total ever was 46. And that was on a year where he only played 40 games where he was hurt. And I think that was 08-09. And it's just, it's amazing to me, two things. That A, these guys haven't picked it up yet. And they need to because they are big pieces that we need to produce.
Yeah.
And that we're still winning without them producing.
Right. To me, I don't know if they're getting in the zone of taking a tea party and relaxing just because they've signed contracts with the Blues. The Blues haven't won the Cup. That should be some type of... There needs to be a sense of urgency with that. And I get it. It's... Hockey is so different than any other sport. You can't just be he's slumping on his batting average because he's trying to figure out his swing.
You don't have 162 games to do that.
Yeah, you don't. You have 80.
You have 81, 82, whatever it is. 82.
You have 82 games to figure it out, and I mean, they have to have. If they're not scoring, they have to be setting up plays.
And I thought that that's what they did on Monday. They had that confidence where they're setting up plays.
Yeah.
Where we're not on 4-on-5 situations where we're 5-on-5 and we're setting up plays to the point, plays to the crease, into the slot.
Yeah.
We're setting those up with confidence, getting 4 to 5 shots off in a row. And that's how you're going to beat the Blackhawks by shooting them. By setting up plays in areas where you don't get to very much.
Yeah.
And nothing against Crawford. I thought Crawford made some great saves, and I thought he played a really good game. But if you crack him, he cracks very easily.
Yeah,
we scored 2 on him in less than 3 minutes, and then they pull him with 3 minutes left in the game, and then we end up getting the empty netter. So you can crack him pretty easily if you can. I think you have a good chance of winning against the Blackhawks, and that's what we did. You look down the score sheet. Berglund with 1, Tarasenko with 2, Steen adding the empty netter. That's with Steen and Tarasenko. That's kind of who you expect to score. This team puts a lot on Tarasenko to score. We put a lot on him to lead stats wise. But then you have people coming in and have played great. Edmondson played great. Fabry played great. Parayko on the back end too played great. You had everybody playing well. Berglund being more physical, and he's scoring. And the one person that surprised me out of all of them that I thought was just playing amazing was Dmitry Yaskin. Playing amazingly well.
Yeah,
who hasn't been playing that much.
It's who's this number 23 guy?
Yeah, and
who is this guy? What is he doing?
Burning up and down the ice. He's fast. He's just not. He just hasn't. He's gotten a bad rap here. He hasn't. I won't say he hasn't. He hasn't. He hasn't performed the way he should to be in the lineup. And when you have people that are so more talented, I won't say more talented than you, but are doing a little better than you, you kind of need to, up that umph and try to, move on to get your game going to be on par with everybody else, and then you get into the game.
Yeah.
And I think that on Thursday when we play Carolina, he should be in the lineup. He proved a lot that game, I thought. It wasn't too big for him. And that was the thing that I thought might happen to some of the younger Blues players, Edmondson, Parayko, Allen to a point, Fabry, Yaskin, thought that maybe this moment was just too big for him. And, well, they showed that it wasn't at all.
Yeah, I do have to say, honestly, like if it was not raining, this game might have been a shutout.
I will agree. I will agree with that.
They shut down all of their star players.
Oh, they did. Taze, Kane, not getting to the net at all.
Panarin
got the assist on the one goal, and that was really it. I mean, we shut him down.
Goal, but I mean, it's a goal. It counts.
A goal is a goal is a goal. It went in. Whatever. Yeah. No, we shut them down, and that's the way it should have been. The one thing I wish they would have done, maybe if I was a coach, I would have done it, but I'm not a coach, so shows what I know about things. When they pulled Crawford, it was 3-1. You had a timeout there. I would have put Hutton in goal, just to let him get in for this atmosphere and play that game and to see those sweet all yellow pads on the ice. I would have put him in. I think that I won't say that it's owed to him, but it would have been neat. It would have been a good experience, and I would have done it if I was Hitchcock.
Yeah, that would have been really cool. That would have been a cool gesture.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm looking at. It's like, okay, I kind of seen it like the All-Star game. Like, everybody kind of gets their chance. They did it with the alumni game, and they had Mason, Liut, and Brodeur.
They played all their goalies. I do have to say, like, last year, watching Parayko play at times was a little scary. They're like, for every 2 good plays that he had, there was one bad play that he would make, and watching him play, I went to a game about a month ago, watched them play the Devils, and then again in the Winter Classic, and he has stepped up his play. Like, he's not looking like a stereotypical young player. Like, he's looking like he's been in the league.
Well, yeah, and the game's not too big for him. He's not playing like that. And I mean, in this day and age, being 20, 21, 22 coming in straight out of college, you can't be that way. They expect you to come in and perform. Just like, I mean, look at Matthews and Laine this year. They're neck and neck now.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what Matthews needed, is to be overshadowed by Laine, to come in and, pick it up a little. Yeah. I'm not saying he didn't drag, but
yeah, I think Austin Matthews I have the stats right here in front of me. Austin Matthews is now he's a goal ahead of Laine and tied for assists. And I feel like they're both really good players, and they're going to be great for the league come the rest of the season and the rest of their careers, hopefully. But I feel like Austin Matthews kind of got overshadowed by what Laine has done later on in the season, just because of how crazy Matthews' game. It's the first game.
Yeah, well, I mean, you score 4 goals in the first game, they're going to think you score 4 goals every game. So, but yeah, I mean, it's been a good year so far, and I mean, as a hockey whole, not the 3 days we're into of 2017.
Right.
But yeah, overall, I think the Winter Classic was a great experience. I wouldn't have changed anything. I don't think. I think everything was pretty good. The entertainment was good. Everything surrounding